Yeah, hello. My name is Albert Costa, and welcome to my channel again. I was a little bit off for the January for usual business, my bread and butter job, but here we are back, and we are back with the Deepcharts upgrade, which has been done yesterday. Actually, they don't call it really an upgrade; they call it a beta version. And yeah, I will get through what Andrea has told in his videos, kind of the new features, and we take a look at this while it's live. So in a kind of live review, it's a Saturday, so it's just kind of a replay from yesterday's session. So let's start right into that. And the first thing Andrea more or less mentioned was this kind of new profile thing. And as you see, there is a kind of new profile stuff. Actually, honestly spoken, I don't really get through it what it really is about. So let's start it out here. Let's make this play. So let's start the trade. So there is a new one which is called profile chart. And as you know, we're doing it on the NASDAQ. We open up the chart here and we take a look what it's building here. And it's actually, when you know the charting, which has been done by Fabio, most likely, he's using one of these charts here with TPO, with the delta volume profiles, things like this, to kind of get a more deeper, let's say, overall view about all of the volume profiles on a daily base, which gives you kind of an edge what maybe can happen the next days. Where is the point of control? Where are the value area zones? Where is kind of most trades? As you see, the value area has shifted day by day down. It's the 6th of February. We got a lot of kind of losses in the last couple of days. So this is actually what this profile is. You can choose here some templates on the bottom, TPOs. Actually, I'm not really using that, honestly spoken. You get what that actually means. Regular trade, I think that's a regular trading hour, maybe compared to the extended one. So which means you see this is the extended one. So the 23 hour profiles, and this most likely is then the same with the regular trading hours, just so maybe you get kind of an edge out of it. Is this something you could use? Most likely. It's nothing I'm really using. I'll show you afterwards a little bit what I'm using at the end on the trading day. So this is kind of the first thing he was talking about, what it's new, about this new on the price chart, profile chart. So number two, so we close this window here. Number two, what he was talking about was actually the new deep chart, deep trades indicator. So when you have deep trades, when you have kind of some deep trades, you can mark out some zones and things like this. So open up this again on the price chart, mini NASDAQ, and as you see, it's loading quite fast. We're just going down to the 1 minute. Yeah, one thing which is quite nice actually, when you go on the time framing now, you can kind of choose what you want to have here. 1 minute, 5 minutes. Because I have not done it so far, I want to have a new one, which is the 2 minute range. Based on a minute. Confirmed. So 2 minutes, and I want to have 3 minutes as well. And I've want to have one. So the first indicator, so the first thing is how much days it should load. I always want like 10 days to be loaded. 15, 30, 1 hour, 2 hour, 4 hours. So that's quite good actually. So you tap here and you have kind of 1 minute chart now, and it loads up quite fast. So that's the point on that. Also with the volume bars or with the range, because here you have like 4, 8, 12, 21, and 54. Actually, I want to have 20 days to load, like 5, like 10 days to load, and I want to have a 20 range here, and I want to have the same one, days to load, with a 40 range. And this is it, and let's check if we go to the 40 range here. That's quite good actually. So I think this is something really that you can work with, also with the volume. I usually prefer 200, 500,000, 2,000. Actually, I prefer 2,500. So let's make this again. Days to load, 2,500 volume here. And Here we go. So, and we have the 2,500 here as well. And you can also, as it seems, use here kind of a volume, maybe let's do 75 and confirm it here. And then you kind of have a 75 volume. So that's quite nice. So that's a quite new feature. Yeah, coming back to the deep trade. So we open up here the indicators, go to the deep trades. And when it's just loading in, and I'm not really sure if this is working on the replay mode. So this could be that it maybe not works on the replay mode. And this would be not so good. Or, of course, no, it works. It works. But the bubbles are tiny. That's the reason why. So we go here. And this is something, it's the automatic plot sizing here, or the sizing, etc. Data settings. Where we have the size, minimum size, maybe maximum 20 and make it here 15. And take a look, and if it's working now, yeah, now we have the bubbles here. Okay. Okay. You see, it's a little bit, I do this live, more or less. And what he told was actually when you go to the deep trades, you have more options now. You can put in kind of the filter mode, you can make low intensity, things like this. The plot settings, so you have the circles, you can choose which kind of thing is that, or the text, which means that it puts in the numbers of the trades with, actually, it's a square round, which I think nice. I would rather see, and this is something I would really love to see, kind of circle and text, square and text, diamond and text. This would be nice. Not just text only, but this would be kind of nice. I think that should be not a big deal to do. You can change the colors and things like this. I usually want to have it a little bit more visible, and I always use kind of this magenta one here. And as you see, you get the colors here. Then you can set the minimum opacity and the maximum. I usually have here 50 and 75. And you see the bubbles here. Minimum size, maybe 10 to kind of see a little bit different. Yes, so here we go. Then zones. And this is something which is new when you enable zones here. Then this, as he mentioned it, it's not really imbalances. So take a listen what Andrea says about it.
Set my favorite number, as we're all able to do, or you can simply click on automatic and let Deepcharts do the magic, and you can just choose the intensity.
So which means the first thing, actually, maybe go back here, is kind of the aggregated trades. You can make it like we did it here to filter the trades manually and put in a number, so kind of minimum trades 30 and maximum something, or you make it an automatic and put in for whatever automatic intensity it works. But I think about it. I've never tested it so far because it's brand new. There was no time left to do it on a real trading day. It's maybe kind of filtering out perform big trade analysis from options, tools, big trade analysis. So, which means when you press here apply, you have to go into options and tools, big trade analysis. Go here, mini NASDAQ, and I hope you see it on the screen. It makes here, unfortunately, it's cutting off here. It's doing an analysis, and it does nothing. That's not good. That's not so good. But turn it down to manual, apply. Here we go. I like manual, honestly spoken. I want to have I want to choose which trades it is. And I usually have two charts, but I'll show you later how I'm usually doing it. I have one on the minute chart, or on the 40 range chart, where I have kind of this settings like 30, 29, 20, 49, depending on the time of the day. And I have one which really just show the really, really big ones. Plot settings, as said, you can kind of, there is nothing really changed. The zones. Yeah, what does it tell about the zones?
Intensity you want. Now the intensity already, just this is a very, very, very cool updates on the big trades side of the things. And as you can see, we have added a brand new features, which are these little areas that you can see plotted from the big trade. This is not an imbalance tracker, guys. This is still the big trades indicator. Isn't that crazy? So For example, you can go on zone settings. Now it's enabled. No, I'm going to disable it for a second. Now you don't see them anymore. So what are these areas? These areas are areas that are being plotted whenever there is a big trade on the shadow of the candle, right?
Okay, so which means with shadow, he means at the end of the day, it's on the top, on the wick at the end. But because if you take a look at this here, so we haven't made it biggest onlys. I'll make it like this: shadow mode all, trend only, make it all. We just put all now. Number of bars 10. Okay, here we go. And when we go in here and you see this is really just where the big trades have happened on the wick or in the near of the wick, as it seems, because let's take a look at that. And this could be maybe give you an edge. If you take a look here, bang up, bang up, bang up. Here was an absorption at the end, so it was kind of a big, what was actually maybe kind of a, here it was, I would say this is a reversal thing, more likely. Let's go into the deep trades again and do the zone settings here and make it maybe reverse only. Let's check it about that, what it's doing here. And it's clearly a little bit cleaning it out. It's a little bit cleaning it out. Okay, it removed this one here. That would be an absorption type of thing here. That would be a false one. But absorption, absorption, absorption. That was no absorption. That was an absorption as well here. Yeah, looks like here. Wow, that would be a nice one, isn't it? Absorption here. And this was yesterday's session. Absorption here, absorption here. So actually, you can really take a look at that. Question for me is now, when does it pop up? So what we do now, we do the replay manager. We go here on the time frame and take a look at 12:52. So we go here and make it 12. So maybe stop it first and go into that 12:52. Oops, 52 we have here, 52. Okay, confirm that and reset, set, but 12:52. Okay, here we go, and we play. So let's take a look what happens in the next maybe. One thing I also recognized here, out the replay manager, you can kind of make the time go a little bit faster, not just by this by this tabs. You can make it like 5 seconds, four times more speed, 3 times more speed, or you keep it at 1 speed. So, which is nice. So let's take a look what this indicator actually is doing for us. So here we go. This, I think that was the candle here. Okay, this was that absorption. So it looks like it gives you kind of the edge on that candle already as soon as this has been produced to kind of being a big absorption. That looks quite nice, actually, from my point of view. This is really something which could help you kind of find good reversal trades, isn't it? So take a look at this. Maybe we have to find it on the 40 range or something like this. So this is zone settings. Trend only. Let's check what's coming up here. So nothing really changing, isn't it? Nothing really changing it. So we have to play around with this. But this, from the first impression, and you see this is kind of totally unprepared what I'm doing here, it's actually already quite nice. Yeah, so number 2, when we are here, is the trading stuff. So we did here, actually, as I said, he's kind of describing what's going on here, what's doing it. And he's now telling about the trading panel. This is quite nice. We have a sim account here now. And you can, when you place a market order and when you put in, for instance, a stop loss, you can put in a trailing stop, which means when the price is going upwards, so I will speed up now the tape a little bit, so speed up the price, hopefully. And as you see, as it moves up, it moves the stop loss to the top as well. I think that's not a good thing because the price is going against me now. So maybe we're stopping it here. So make the stop loss here and put in here the trail trigger. So which means whenever the price goes down, the stop loss will move down as well. And one thing I recognized is when I put here, for instance, when I go down with the price, the trigger is still in place. So which means when it goes up here, you can move it closer. So it's moving down, down, down. Hopefully it works now a little bit. Again, maybe kind of 40. Yeah, as you see, it's rolling down, bang, and it was stopping me out here. This is actually quite a nice thing. One thing I would also like is the break-even button. So have it a break-even button. If you are in a, make it like this, speed up the tape again. If you are break even, if you maybe have taken out 1 or 2 micros, whatever you're doing, you go to break even. It's one pressing. I have seen when you put in the commissions, it usually calculates it as well on the commissions. So when you put in maybe $1 or $2 on the commissions, it counts that in. So it counts that in when you kind of have that. The OCO strategies as well, you can put it now into money. I'm not really sure if this was available before, but if you put in, for instance, $50 and $20, and maybe we do here the charting on the macros, maybe that's a little bit easier to kind of do. And when you put in the OCO strategy, I'm going to place let's say a market order sell here. Okay, that's not working. Yeah, that's not working. Put in a market order here. Then this is a little bit less, $500. In this case, it's because it's minis, so you have to put in way more money. But if we put in here, you see, you put in an order, it automatically calculates, it's 500 here. If you do, for instance, now 2 minis, you will see it's even smaller. And if you do 4, for instance, it's really small. So you don't have any kind of room for error here. That's actually quite nice. You can put in the stop loss, the trailing stop here. Speeding up the tape a little bit again. It's a little bit faster. And as you see, it's moving down, it's moving down, it's moving down till it takes up the take profit, which would be a good trade. Unfortunately, I've known how this works because I've seen the price moving. So this is as well a very nice feature from my point of view. So you can kind of a little bit faster on the execution and all of that stuff. This is really kind of helpful. Another one, maybe move a little bit forward here, what he has told.
Here in your trading panel, okay? So this is another cool feature we've been adding lately. And that's pretty much it from this side of set it for the entire thing. And correct.
So yeah,
settings or for your singular account. So just for this account. Or
yes, you can do kind of money management. This is something which I think it's nice because you can kind of do this here. Why this is not opening? Okay, here we go. Oops. Why this is not getting bigger? Here we go. Yeah. So you can, it's just a sim account here, so no worries about that. When you're going into money management and can kind of set your account, you can choose kind of what you want to do. And this really kind of can prevent you from overtrading, from set the daily loss limit, set the daily profit limit, for instance, which I usually set. You will ask yourself why he's doing that. Consistency rule. On prop firms, you have consistency rules, and when you have consistency rules in place, it is not a good thing to kind of break that. And with the daily profit limit, you can calculate it before maybe, because when you trade it like, I don't know, maybe $600 is too much for my consistency. So I put that in on $600. It usually will roll out. The portfolio loss limit, most likely, when you kind of have lost too much, then you have a daily pause or something. This is something really, really helpful from my point of view, because then you really can kind of, if you have got a loss, if you have taken a bad shot on one trade, don't trade this day. It's over. go back, do something else, go out, get some fresh air, things like this. I think this is a really nice thing. We have to dive deeper in that in another session. But it really looks like it's a very good thing because it helps you preventing doing a lot of losses if you are having maybe a bad day. You can, for instance, pause for 1 minute. So you can log out yourself. It cannot be overwritten. So this is something they told. It cannot be overwritten. So when I pause it for 1 minute now, for instance, so we go out, I cannot, maybe because it's in the real session, because it's a replay now, in the real session, and most likely I will be not able to take any trades there. So this is something which is really helpful from my point of view as well.
Or for the entire connection, so the entire maybe DX feed or the entire Rhythmic.
Yeah, you can do it for the entire connection, for the entire account, or for the entire Deepcharts account, more or less. So
every one of your accounts.
So this is a real big thing.
Yes. And so if you go, for example, on the option, go on option of the control of the main, exactly, you can go on option, settings, and now you can close the trade, exactly. If you go on trading, you can decide if you want to see on the trading panel display the balance and the equities.
Yes, and one good thing as well, this is something, because you mentioned it now, is you go on options on settings and on the trading, and you can have here actually your balance and equity if you see it up here. So that's quite nice because then you really see how which balance you have, which equity actually you have, etc. I have seen it's not 100% working now because on my Rhythmic account, one of my Rhythmic accounts, the balance was correct, but the equity was not correct. So that's just something maybe they have to work on. Yeah, so this is something else, and I think that was more or less else. Right, it's always 22 minutes now. I would say, look, guys, this was a big one. I hope you enjoyed the video for Deepcharts, for the new features. If you want to have any more information on that, if you want to make, I don't know, if you want to have it like this, that I show you something or something like that, let me know. We are actually trading in the Pro Trading group. So my friend Pro Trading, he also has a YouTube channel. Please provide him support as well. We see us in the Discord of him. And we're doing everyday daily live sessions there on the New York Open, on mostly of the London Open, depending. And yeah, we'll be happy to see you guys there. Have your questions even here on YouTube or anywhere else. And yeah, happy tradings, don't overtrade, and see you later. Bye-bye.